Hello everyone! Welcome to our grade 10 mathematics class. For today's video lesson, we will be discussing about the rational root theorem. The rational root theorem gives a list of possible rational zeros of a polynomial function. Equivalently, the theorem gives all possible rational roots of a polynomial equation. Not every number in the list will be a zero of the function, but every rational zero of the polynomial function will appear somewhere in the list. In the rational root theorem, the process of finding the rational zeros of a polynomial function is very similar to finding the integral roots of the function. The only difference lies in the possible roots to be tested. The rational zero theorem is used when the leading coefficient of the polynomial a sub n is neither 0 nor 1. The rational zero theorem states that a rational number p over q, where q should not equal to 0, expressed in lowest form, is a zero of a polynomial function p of x only if p is a factor of the constant term a sub 0 and q is a factor of the leading coefficient a sub n. Now let's have the example on how to list all possible rational zeros of a function. So we have here f of x is equal to 15x cubed plus 14x squared minus 3x minus 2. Wherein yung ating negative dito ay yung ating p. Then, yung ating 15 dito ay yung ating q. So, the constant term is negative 2 and the leading coefficient is 15. Then, after that, kukunin na natin yung mga possible rational zeros natin. So, sa ating numerators will be the factors of the constant term which is yung ating negative 2. Then, dun sa ating denominator are yung factors of the leading coefficient which is 15. Then after that, isusulat na natin siya in the form of P over Q. So, eto siya. Then after that, paghiwa-hiwalayin na natin siya. So, yung ating numerators na positive and negative 1 and positive and negative 2, i-divide lang natin siya sa lahat ng ating mga nasa denominator. So, kapag dinivide down natin yung ating numerator sa denominator natin na positive and negative 1, ang makukuha daw natin ay positive and negative 1 and positive and negative 2. The next, kapag dinivide daw natin yung ating numerator into our denominator na positive and negative 3, ang makukuha nating possible rational zeros ay positive and negative 1/3 and positive and negative 2/3. Next, dun tayo sa ating denominator na positive and negative 15. So, kapag dinivide natin yung numerator natin sa ating positive and negative 5, ang makukuha daw natin ay positive and negative 1/5 and positive and negative 2/5. Then, the last one, kapag dinivide natin yung ating numerator sa ating positive and negative 15 na denominator, ang makukuha natin ay positive and negative 15 and positive and negative 2 over 15. So, ganun lang siya kasimple kung paano magsulat or mag-list ng all possible rational zeros of a function. When remembering how to find the list of all possible rational roots of a polynomial, remember the silly snake puts his tail over his head. That factors of the tail of the polynomial over factors of the head of the polynomial. Practice, this is how we learn. Now, let's proceed on how to solve using the rational root theorem. So, we have here 4x squared plus 3x minus 1 is equal to 0. Any rational root must have a numerator that is a factor of -1 and a denominator that is a factor of +4. So, unahin muna natin yung factors ng ating -1. So, yung factor niya ay magiging positive and -1. Then, the factors of +4 is positive and -1, 2, and 4. After that, we will use the synthetic division to find all the rational roots. So, sulat muna natin siya in the form of P over Q, wherein magiging ganito na siya. We have here the positive and -1, positive and -1/2, positive and -1/4. Then, after that, pwede na natin siyang isulat or isolve using the synthetic division for us to find the rational roots. So, unahin natin yung ating positive 1. So, isusulat lang natin siya ulit na ganito. Then, yung ating mga coefficient dito ay isusulat natin siya ng ganito. So, we have here the positive 4, positive 3, and -1. Then, after that, i-multiply lang natin or i-bring down muna natin yung ating 4. Then, after that, i-multiply natin siya. 4 times 1 will be positive 4. Then, after that ay i-add natin yung ating 3 and 4 which is naging 7. Then, after that, i-multiply ulit natin siya sa 1. So, we have 7 times 1 will give us 7. Then, after that, i-add ulit natin. So, we have -1 plus positive 7 will give us positive 6. So, kung mapapansin nyo, yung ating remainder dito ay 6. Kapag hindi naging 0 yung ating remainder, ibig sabihin, hindi siya root ng ating given. Next, try naman natin yung -1. So, kapag -1, same procedure lang siya. So, i-bring down muna natin yung ating 4. Then, after that, ita-times natin siya sa -1. So, kapag tinimes natin, makukuha ay -4. Then, after that, i-add natin siya. So, 3 plus -4 will give us -1. Then, same procedure, i-multiply ulit natin siya sa -1. So, -1 times -1 will give us positive 1. Then, kapag inad natin yung -1 and positive 1, ang makukuha natin ay we have 0. So, kapag 0 yung ating remainder, ibig sabihin ay root siya ng ating given. Then, after that, itong ating na-reduce dito na equation will be used for us to get the other roots. So, ito, gagamitin na lang natin siya, kaya siya naging ganito. So, we have 4x minus 1. Since yung ating highest exponent ay 2 dito, so dito ay nag-minus 1 lang tayo sa ating exponent, kaya naging 1 na lang yung ating exponent dito. Then, we have the equation 4x minus 1. I-equate lang natin siya sa 0 para makuha natin yung ating other na roots. So, we have now 4x minus 1 is equal to 0. Then, after that, itra-transpose natin yung ating -1 sa ating other side or sa ating right side. Then, yung -1 ay magiging positive na siya. Kaya, naging ganito yung ating equation. Then, after that, divide both sides by 4 para makuha yung value ng ating x. Then, makakancel na yan. Then, ang naiwan na ating value of x will be 1/4. So, ito ay isa na rin siyang roots of our given equation. Then, yung ating mga roots will be -1 and positive 1/4. So, ganun lang siya kasimple. Let's have another example. So, we have here x cubed plus 2x squared minus 13x plus 10 is equal to 0. So, kunin muna natin yung ating P and Q. So, yung ating P dyan is yung ating 10, which is the constant term. And then yung ating Q ay yung ating leading coefficient, which is x, or yung ating invisible 1 dyan. So, yung mga factors natin ay eto. So, yung P ay yung factors of 10. Then, yung Q ay yung factors ng ating 1. Then, after that, ilalagay na natin siya in the form of P over Q. So, kapag nilagay natin siya in the form of P over Q, ibig sabihin, itong ating P, i-divide lang natin sa ating Q, which is positive and negative 1. So, kapag nagdi-divide lang tayo ng 1, ibig sabihin, same lang siya na number, hindi siya mababago. So, meron tayo ditong mga possible roots na lang na positive and negative 1, 2, 5, and 10. Then, after that, pwede na nating gamitin yung ating synthetic division para ma-solve yung ating given and makuha natin yung ating mga roots. So, dito inuna yung positive 1. So, kapag positive 1, ganito yung ating magiging solving. So, we have here, kinuha lang natin yung coefficient natin sa ating given function. So, we have 1, yung ating 2, negative 13, and positive 10. So, eto na siya. Yan. Then, after that, gagamitin natin yung ating unang root na 1, kaya siya andito. Then, after that, i-bring down muna natin yung ating first na number, which is the 1. So, bringing down, then, i-multiply lang natin siya sa ating 1. So, multiply, magiging 1, which is ito. Then, after that, i-add lang natin sila. So, we have 2 plus 1 will give us 3. Then, after that, i-multiply ulit natin yung 3 sa ating 1. So, magiging 3 na siya. Ito. Then, i-add ulit natin. So, we have negative 13 plus 3 will give us negative 10. Then, after that, multiply ulit sa 1. So, we have negative 10 times 1 will give us negative 10. Then, kapag inad natin yung positive 10 at negative 10, ang makukuha ay 0. Ibig sabihin, we have a remainder 0. Then, it is a root of the given function. Next. So, kung mapapansin nyo, yung ginamit na lang dito ay yung ating na-reduce na equation, which is ito. Since meron tayong highest exponent na 3, then magma-minus na lang tayo dito ng ating magiging exponent. So, since 1 ito, magiging x na lang siya. Then, magma-minus 1 tayo doon sa ating highest exponent na 3. So, magiging 2. Then, we have, etong 3 ay magiging positive 3. Then, since kailangang pababa yung ating exponent, ito ay magiging x. Then, meron tayong exponent dyan na invisible 1. Then, ilalagay natin na constant yung negative 10. Then, is equal to 0. So, ito ay napunta na siya doon. Then, kung napapansin nyo, itong ating reduced na equation, pwede na siyang i-factor. So, yung nakuhang factor dyan is x plus 5 and x minus 2. So, kapag ginamit natin yung FOIL method, makukuha natin ito. So, ito na ngayon yung ating factors. Then, i-equate lang natin siya sa 0. So, we have x plus 5 is equal to 0. So, kapag transpose natin itong positive 5, magiging negative 5 na siya. So, yung isang root natin ay negative 5. Then, next, dun naman tayo sa x minus 2 is equal to 0. So, itra-transpose ulit natin yung negative 2, magiging positive 2. So, yung ating mga roots will be, we have negative 5, ito, and we have 1 which is ito, then yung ating positive 2 na ito. So, ganun lang siya kadali. Now, let's have the third example. We have here 3x cubed minus 5x squared minus 4x plus 4 is equal to 0. So, isulat muna natin yung mga factors for P and Q. So, yung factors natin for P, which is yung ating constant na 4, ay positive and negative 1, 2, and 4. Then, yung factors natin for Q, which is yung ating leading coefficient na 3 ay we have positive and negative 1 and 3. Then, after that, susulat na natin siya in the form of P over Q para makuha yung mga possible rational roots. So, we have now here positive and negative 1, 2, 4, 1/3, 2/3, and 3/4. So, ito ay in the form of P over Q na siya. So, dinivide lang yung mga factors natin sa P sa mga factors natin sa Q. Then, after that, pwede na natin gamitin itong mga possible rational roots natin in solving using synthetic division para makuha natin yung rational root natin. So, inuna dito yung negative 1. So, una, isusulat muna natin yung ating mga coefficients. So, we have here 3, negative 5, negative 4, and positive 4. So, ito na siya. Sinulat lang. Then, after that, i-bring down natin yung ating unang number, which is 3. So, bringing down lang yan. Then, after that, i-multiply natin siya. So, 3 times negative 1 will give us negative 3. Then, negative 5 plus negative 3 will give us negative 8. Then, multiply ulit. So, we got positive 8. Then, kapag pinag-add yung negative 4 and positive 8, makukuha ay positive 4. Then, after that, minultiply ulit siya doon sa ating negative 1. Then, we got negative 4. Then, kapag pinag-add yung positive 4 and negative 4, ang makukuhang remainder will be 0. Ibig sabihin, yung negative 1 ay isang root ng ating given na equation. So, we have here to find other roots. You can use the synthetic division using other possible roots on this coefficient or factor and solve the equation or quadratic equation. So, unahin muna natin yung using synthetic division. So, ito kasi kapag sinulat natin siya as reduced equation, ang magiging reduced equation natin ay we have yung 3, sulat lang natin, lagyan natin ng x, then magmaminus tayo sa ating highest exponent na 3, so magiging 2. Then we have negative 8. Since meron tayong exponent na 2 dito, yan, so magmaminus tayo ng 1 ulit kasi kailangan ay nagdi-decrease yung ating exponent. So meron tayong invisible 1 na lang dyan. Then copy natin yung 4 as our coefficient is equal to 0 na lang siya. Then kapag sinulat natin ito as synthetic division, magiging ganito na siya. Then ginamit ay yung positive 2 na rational roots natin. So ito. Then after that, magiging ganito siya. I-bring down natin yung ating first na number, which is 3. Then multiply natin siya, magiging 6. Then after that, i-add natin yung negative 8 and 6, magiging negative 2. Then multiply ulit. So we have negative 4. Then i-add ulit natin yung positive 4 and negative 4. Ang makukuha ay 0 na remain there. So, ibig sabihin ay yung positive 2 will be also the other zeros of our equation. Then, using the factoring naman, magiging ganito siya. Yan. So, we have 3x squared minus 8x minus 4 or positive 4. Dapat ito. So, we have positive 4. Yan. Positive 4 dapat yan. Then, kapag kinuha natin yung factors niya, ang makukuha natin ay we have 3x minus 2 and x minus 2. Then, after that, i-equate natin sa 0, kaya siya naging 2/3 and positive 2. Dito naman kanina, after nung ating synthetic division na ito, ang naiwan na lang ay we have 3. Then, since yung ating highest exponent kanina ay 2, magiging x na lang siya. Then, minus 2, which is our coefficient. Then, ito inequate na lang sa 0, kaya siya naging ganito na equation. Then, after that, i-transpose natin yung negative 2 sa ating right side, kaya siya naging positive 2. Yung ating equation will be now 3x is equal to 2. Then, after that, divide both sides by 3 para makuha yung value ng x. And, cancel na yan. Ang naiwan ay we have x is equal to 2/3. So, ganun siya. Pwedeng using synthetic division para makuha yung ating other roots or using the factoring which is ito. So, yung ating mga nakuhang roots dyan ay negative 1, 2/3, and 2. Remember na kapag yung highest exponent natin, dun tayo nagbe-base kung ilang roots yung makukuha natin. Since yung ating pinaka highest na exponent dito ay 3, ibig sabihin meron din tayong tatlong roots. So, yung nakuha nating tatlong roots ay negative 1, 2/3, and 2. So, ganun lang siya. Now, let's have the last example. So, we have here, give the integral polynomial whose roots are 3, 2/5, and negative 1/2. So, dito naman sa example na ito, binigay yung ating mga roots. Then, ang kukunin natin ay yung ating function. So, kapag ganon, gagawin lang natin siya as a mga factors. Then, after that, ay gagamitin natin yung ating FOIL method para makuha yung ating function. So, unahin muna natin yung 3. So, magiging x is equal to 3 kasi nga siya ay roots. Then, i-equate natin siya sa 0, magiging x minus 3 na lang siya. So, yung first na factor natin ay x minus 3. Then, after that, dun tayo sa 2/5. So, we have as a factor, magiging x is equal to 2/5. Then, i-equate natin siya sa 0. So, itra-transpose natin yung positive 2/5 magiging negative 2/5. Then, ang gagawin natin ay ita-times natin siya sa kanyang LCD para makuha natin yung factors. Or gagawin natin siya as a factor. So, we have 5 times x will give us 5x. Then, 5 times negative 2/5. Cancel na lang yung 5. Then, ang naiwan ay negative 2. Then, is equal to 0 or ganyan na lang siya kasi nga gawin natin siyang factor and isosolve din natin siya mamaya. The next, we have the last one na root which is negative 1/2. Then, kapag inequate sa 0, magiging positive 1/2 na siya. Then, kukunin ulit natin yung ating LCD. I-multiply natin siya. So, we have 2 as the LCD. Then, 2 times x will give us 2x. Then, 2 times 1/2. So, cancel yung 2. Ang naiwan ay 1. Is equal to 0 or ganyan na lang siya. Kasi as a factor siya. Then, gagamitin na natin ngayon yung ating FOIL method para makuha yung ating function. So, unahin muna natin itong dalawang ito. So, FOIL method, first term, multiply natin yung first term na x times 5x, it will give us 5x squared. Next, the outer term, which is x times negative 2, it will give us negative 2x. Then the inner term, which is negative 3 and positive 5x, it will give us negative 15x. Then the outer term we have, or the last term, negative 2 times negative 3, it will give us positive 6. Then after that, combine like terms, ito. So we have now, copy lang yung 5x square. Then, i-add natin yan. So, magiging negative 17x. Then, just copy positive 6. Then, after that, ito ay i-multiply naman natin sa ating last na factor, which is 2x plus 1. So, distribute tayo. So, we have 5x squared times 2x magiging 10x cubed. The next, 2x squared times 1 magiging, or 5x squared times 1 magiging positive 5x squared. So, natapos na tayo sa ating 5x squared. Then, dito tayo sa 17x. Negative 17x times positive 2x magiging negative 34x squared. Next, negative 17x times 1 will give us negative 17x. So, natapos na tayo doon. Then, let's have the constant. I-distribute natin. So, we have 6 times 2x. It will give us positive 12x. Then, 6 times 1 will give us positive 6. Then, after that, combine like terms tayo. So, yung ating magiging final na answer will be, we have, copy lang natin yung 10x cubed kasi wala naman siyang kaparehas. Next, combine natin yung 5x squared minus 34x squared magiging negative 29x squared. Then next, doon tayo sa negative 17x plus 12x. So, magiging negative 5x. Then, just copy the constant na 6. So, yung ating final na function or final na answer will be 10x cubed minus 29x squared minus 5x plus 6. So, ganun lang siya kasimple. That's how to list the possible zeros of rational root theorem and on how to solve for the zeros of the rational root theorem. That ends our lesson for today. God bless everyone!